The people want the fall of Hamas. That's what Gazans are chanting as anti-Hamas protests continue for the third day.
The protests have spread to several cities in Gaza, and they could mark a turning point in the nearly 18-month war. Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem.
Protests in Gaza have spread to the capital, Gaza City, and the former Hamas stronghold of Khan Younis. Some of it aimed directly at Hamas for making its citizens endure this terrible, now 17-month-long war. In Gaza City, protesters shouted, "Out, out, Hamas, get out." The protest started Tuesday in Bet Lahia and continued on Wednesday with chants of, "The people want the fall of Hamas." Though some question if the protests are genuine or simply being allowed by Hamas for its own reasons, since freedom of speech has not existed in Gaza under Hamas. Yet this Gazan used the media to talk straight to the terror group.
We have had enough and we do not want you. We are done. We gave you enough chances, but you let us down like all people in this world. We want a decent life for us and our children.
Well, I think this is like the best news that I've heard in a very, very long time.
IDF reserve soldier Yair Pinto told CBN's Raj Nir the unprecedented protests may signal a turning point.
Hamas has been keeping the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip as hostages, basically using them as human shields, brainwashing the population for more than 20 years. And finally, we see them stand up and speak against this terrorist organization, saying, we had enough of war, we had enough of destruction.
Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz encouraged the people of Gaza to stand up to Hamas.
Learn from the residents of Bet Lahia. Like them, you too should demand the removal of Hamas from Gaza and the immediate release of all Israeli hostages. That is the only way to stop the war.
For the first time since October 7th, a recent poll shows a significant drop of support for Hamas's deadly attack on Israel from 57% to 39%. At the Knesset, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu added another threat to the terror group.
And I say to Hamas, this includes seizing territory, and this includes other things that I will not list here.
On the eve of a major conference on anti-Semitism, Israeli President Isaac Herzog addressed the alarming surge in global anti-Semitism since October 7th and called on Jewish communities and their allies to take action.
I say to you, dear leaders and activists, fight. Fight and don't give up. To my Jewish brothers and sisters who are here and all over the world, I say, I understand your concerns for the safety of your communities and for the future of your children, and I understand your pain and outrage, and I understand your concern for Jewish life. I also understand and I share your worries in this urgent battle. The State of Israel is your full partner, and we are all in this battle.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, let's pray for Hamas to be overthrown, for the hostages to finally be released, for the war to finally end. Let's also pray this spreads to Lebanon. There's no reason for Hezbollah to essentially control southern Lebanon. I remember visiting Beirut. I was just 12 years old, so back in the 1960s. Then it was known as the jewel of the Mediterranean. It was an incredibly prosperous city. All of that gone when the PLO came in 1972, descended into civil war and anarchy, and then the sort of rival groups controlling different geographic areas, and then armed to the teeth to attack Israel. Wouldn't it be wonderful for Lebanon to once again be the jewel of the Mediterranean? And wouldn't it be wonderful if Iran had a change in government, and instead of putting all of their funds into arms and spreading terror around the Middle East, trying to build nuclear weapons, but they actually said, well, let's take care of our own people and let's become prosperous. That would be absolutely incredible. These would be wonderful things to see happen, and let's pray it in, that this would happen and happen.